Hello and welcome to this week's episode of 248. That is 2 guys, 4-color, 8-bit. I am your host, Brentley Sprouls, and with me as always is...
Jake Jackson, and right behind me we have our reoccurring guest,
Randall Harrington.
And kids, we're going to tell you some shit about Ichibancon. We just got back. Super excited about telling you every damn detail of the whole thing. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at... that would be at 248_podcast, and find us on Facebook as well at facebook.com/248podcast. We are going to be releasing a little more shit than usual. This will be following a bonus pod we may or may not include with it. We're still working on it. We got to interview a very interesting guy. We'll get to that, so calm your tits. As well as episode 4 will be released right after we get done recording this. So
yeah, was going to record it, but then we already recorded it. I was going to upload it, do all the processing and whatnot, but then we got to prepare for Ichibancon, which is what we're definitely going to be talking about tonight. So once this is finished, we'll have 2, maybe 3, the third being the bonus. So your pants will be quite wet by the end of this.
Oh yeah, lots of content heading your way, kids. So again, just if anybody hasn't, if anybody is new to the pod or whatever else, just to kind of recap a little bit. Jake, Randall, and I went to a show, a convention called Ichibancon down in Concord, North Carolina. It's a little bit of a drive, not too bad, and it's an anime convention, and god damn it, we had a lot of fun, man. This is Randall and I's first convention, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jake was a vet of the convention, so he was kind of our guide amongst the whole thing. So all around a whole bunch of fun. So we're just gonna dive right into it, man. We're just gonna get all about it. So the night that we went, the night that we woke up, we went beforehand, whatever.
The night everybody came over to my place,
Right.
crashed.
So
that night
we crashed out. The original intention was to get there around 11, right when the con opened. And to do that, for whatever fucking reason, we thought we needed to wake up around 6. So we had, all in all, I think somewhere around like 15 to 16 alarms set in increments. Set in increments throughout.
we all woke up. We all said, "Fuck this shit,"
Exactly.
and we all passed out again.
Exactly. So we ended up getting up around 8 or 9 o'clock, whatever. Went and filled up at the gas station, got some hash browns, got some a little bit of breakfast, got some gas, and then boom, we were on our way. I will go ahead and say I've done a little bit of driving, throughout me having a car and driving. Jesus fuck. A couple of road trips.
Driving a car?
And I will say one of the very easy going things about it is, it was 3 dudes, no problem, no pit stops, nothing like that. As long as we had smokes, we were able to drive straight down there. So we
Mission
get
accomplished.
to yeah.
You guys bought 3 packs for yourself?
No,
each?
he bought.
I had
Brentley bought 3 packs. I bought myself 2. I inevitably had to buy a 3rd.
Exactly.
Damn
So we full on just boom sprinted down to the con. We get there. Jake, of course, is cosplaying. Randall was going to cosplay, couldn't get everything in time.
Didn't have the finances and all.
So, 1 out of 3 of us are cosplaying. So
Successful.
Describe just for the kids at home. Just describe your cosplay a little bit and what character you were.
Mm-hmm. So, as anyone that watches anime may know, there's a show called One Piece, and with
One Piece.
there's only one piece.
Yeah, just one piece.
It's one episode, and it lasts about 30 days. Cumulatively, it's a bloody long anime, and just cool beans. But one of my favorite characters, that's luckily, because being my favorite, he's a reoccurring character. His name is Trafalgar Law. No spoilers. Just one of my favorite characters. His name is Trafalgar Law. I dressed up as one of his later versions. had a custom-made hat, coat made by hand, and a very nice, 52-inch Nodachi.
Rest in peace.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace. We'll get to that.
That still depresses me.
So we're sitting in the
Game
parking lot of the convention. We're kind of getting our shit together, and me personally, I'm kind of steeling myself for what is about to come. This being my first con, and a more popular con, I really don't know what to expect.
What have you gotten yourself into?
Yeah, exactly. So I've got my backpack on, where it's filled to the brim with fucking beef jerky and sodas and all sorts of shit. So I'm the pack mule, and I'm okay with that. And next thing we know, we're fucking trucking right to the con. We wait in line.
About 15 minutes.
Yeah,
max.
the wait for the actual badge. So we showed up Saturday morning. Friday morning. We show up, and
It's just a blur.
yeah. Very easy. We spent maybe fuck man.
15 minutes.
Yeah,
max in
15
that
minutes
line.
maybe, and that's because Randall and I had to leave to get his wallet. So all in all, 20 minutes maybe in line to get our badges. We got our badges, and then it's off to the fucking races. You just walk around. You can go do whatever you want after that. So seeing as how I'm still a little bit of a con virgin, so to speak, I wanted to ease into it a little, and we all thought the best way to do that would be to head right to the video game room. So we go, and there are just fucking cabinets of all sorts of different games, man. There are a lot of rhythm games. You got dancing games. You got the whatever the drum game is called. I don't even fucking know what. You've got the Miku Hatsune Vocaloid game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there.
Shit.
And one of the things that's great about that,
You
man,
know
is
what
it's
captivated
just
my
the-
attention.
Yeah, it's just the game itself just has beautiful graphics, and so you get to play the game. Very fun. Anyway, of course you have the new Smash. They had 8-person Smash and 4-person Smash set up, so that was very cool. And I'm just walking around, man, and all of a sudden I'm bathed in nostalgia, and I see Street Fighter, and I see
Edgy Snake.
all sorts of stuff.
Nostalgia.
Edgy Snake, which we'll get there.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom. We also see a Metal Slug 2 machine, which
God.
I drooled over. And of course, I picked up Randall by his collar and drug him, so he would be my second player for that, man. Now, Jake would not join me, on top of being a bastard, also because he was very busy with a highlight, I would say, of the game room in general, and I hope most Japanese culture, because I'm sure it's still very popular. But of course, kids, I'm talking about Dance Dance Revolution, DDR, as it's known to most nerds. You've got 4 panels that you step on, and there's some sort of fluidity of dancing involved.
You cast a spell, and
Yeah.
your feet move magically too.
It
I
is-
don't know how it works.
There's a reason why I play as a wizard.
I will say it is really fucking foreign to me, man. I don't get it. But of course, me want my buddies back. He hops up to the pads for his first game of DDR in the con, and so I'm raring to go, man. I'm like, yes, I picked up the pom-poms. I put on the pom.
Pom-poms.
Fuck, thank you.
Pom-pom.
The pom-poms.
No pong. No pong.
I put on the tiny little skirt. I put my hair in twin tails, and I was
very nice. By the
I
way.
was cheering.
He was the most adorable cheerleader I've ever seen.
Second shortest skirt into the con.
I
We'll
was
get it.
second.
I was all about Team Jake. So he steps up, and
The champion robe fell down,
and
I stepped on the pad.
pretty much destroyed the game. And what I mean by that, of course, is that he fucked up. He fucked up.
Basically.
Now,
So it had
Yes.
been a year since I last played. Last time I played, Ichiban 2014.
it would be 2014.
I'm still getting used to the new 2014 to 2015. It's weird seeing 15 everywhere. So, Ichiban 2014 last year, was the last time that I really played, and like 2 years before that was when I really played every day. No, 5 years. God damn it all. So anywho, I step on the pad. It was actually In the Groove, which is another company's attempt to do a DDR-esque game, and they do it very well actually. But apparently there's a button at the top of the machine that switches it between In the Groove and DDR Extreme. I didn't know about that, so I hopped on. I was just like, fuck it. Gonna choose a song, choose a difficulty that I think I could do, set some options, and play it.
Now.
And I played it. I did my best to match the errors in the right combination, and I got an E.
What we end up with is Randall and I are just kind of watching Jake, and
Actually,
that's right. I'm sorry.
Randall
Well, we don't have to mention that.
No, we will for the glory of the story. I'm sorry, though I completely misspoke. So Randall is actually on the pad next to Jake.
Blew it.
On easy setting, and he's fucking two-stepping away.
I think I got it.
You were upwards of like 50-60% before Jake left, and you were like, oh, what the fuck? So you're two-stepping away, and Jake he's you can see that he's struggling, trying to find some sort of rhythm. There's a lot of internal
it's not a song
struggle.
I've ever heard. When you play, you start to sort of figure out the pattern or the general flow of a certain song. But it'd been a year. I hadn't played that song ever, and I was just like, fuck it. I'm gonna play at this machine over here because it's actual DDR. Fuck this.
So Jake fucks up and then steps off the pad. Now
I'm just waiting for the song to finish so I can try something else.
Right. Now, as all of this is happening, there's a guy who was at the machine beforehand. He looks to be somewhere between maybe 19 to 22 years old. He is wearing long gym shorts, shoes that I can only assume are built for DDR, and no shirt. So immediately, as a con goer, I kind of look at him and I go, this guy has to be a fucking douchebag. And now, kids, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, you can't judge a book by its cover.
I used to do that. Yeah, I used to do that, actually.
In this case, I happen to be 100% right, as usual. So the guy comes up, and Randall and I, we're kind of clustering around Jake to soothe his bruised ego. And
which was just, I don't have, I was just like, fuck it.
And
I'll play this game.
Right, yeah. So Jake hops off, and he's like, fuck it, man, this isn't the game I thought it was. So he hops off, and the guy goes, dude, do you even play hard mode? And
I wanted to deck him.
that was...
I'm not a violent person, but it's just like...
when you look at...
No words can express how much bullshit there was.
Now, just take a step back, kids. Take a step back and take away everything that we're talking about, everything that we enjoy. Just remove it. Look at this completely objectively.
Or nothing, then.
You are seeing a guy step on lit up pads to a screen to music at what may be considered to be an impressive tempo. And as this is going on, inevitably, the person looks a little ridiculous. Now, you put everything back in and you pull in the nerd culture, the video game culture, the competitive spirit that we have, and you see, if we're watching this guy, we're a little impressed. In the end, it's a fucking game. And more importantly, it's a game
on arrows.
Yeah, right.
A giant D-pad.
And more importantly, it's a game at a convention in a game room where they put everything on free mode and said, go to town, kids, have fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And this guy who, I guess, takes this to a competitive nature. I don't really know. I don't know of any DDR competitions.
There actually are.
I'm sure there are.
And they're ridiculous.
And I'm sure it's impressive to watch. I would probably be quite entertained by it. But this guy was a fucking douche. Bottom line, he was just a fucking tool bag. And he was pissed that his machine was taken away from him for a brief
2 minutes?
minute and a half to 2 minutes.
Let's not even talk about how he was fucking there the entire con.
Right. So...
Okay, no, let's talk about it.
Actually, yeah, I mean...
Let's talk about it.
To put into perspective...
He was there the entire fucking con.
Why am I talking to Brentley's microphone? I've got my own. This guy, after revealing that he was an immense tool bag, he fucking hovered around that only in the groove machine the entire con. We went into that game room probably like 15 times in the course of 2 days.
Well, we played all the games.
Yeah, but no, we went into that game room and that guy was always there. Pretty much any time he was just like, yeah, I'm here. I'm a tool bag.
Yeah,
here's my sunglasses.
He was all about that machine.
That's just like,
and that's cool, man. Like, we actually, all three of us ended up finding a game that when we walked in there, we'll get to it, but we walked into the game room and we were like, is anybody playing that machine? Aw, fuck no. Let's get to biz.
Yeah. Finishing up with the DDR stuff. So
right.
That guy's an asshole. Eventually, I found out this machine has DDR Extreme on it. And so I pop it over, and I kill it. I'm getting, it scored EDCBAAS, and S is where you hit everything perfectly.
Right.
So I'm getting A's across the board, and I'm doing some of the really hard songs.
So Jake
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I eventually go on to using both pads and just going back and forth and just killing it.
Which was a sight to behold.
Yeah, that was pretty damn cool, man. It really was. And there were actually two guys who were like hardcore into DDR. There was Douchebag, and there was also who I kept calling Black Deadpool. And it was actually no. It was actually just a guy. He wasn't even really dressed up as Deadpool. He just had a sleeveless tank top that it was like a Deadpool jersey type thing.
Okay.
And it was fine. He didn't seem like a dick. He didn't prove himself to be a dick. Therefore, I don't think he's a dick.
Well, good for him.
But he was also there pretty much the entire time.
Yeah.
So we hit the game room pretty hard, and that was really, really fun. As we were in the game room, we
found this godlike game.
Yeah, it was
where even the losers win.
Exactly. So there is some sort of reveal game, and I think Randall ended up looking this up. And what was it called?
It's called Gal's Panic. Now
Gal's
I don't
Panic.
know which one we were playing at the con because there's like 4 or 5 of these games, and I tried to find footage of the 2-player mode, but I couldn't, and I couldn't even find footage of the version that we played. At least I don't think I did.
So we got the name Etchy Snake.
Yeah, we kept calling it Etchy Snake.
Dude, you want to play some Etchy Snake?
The reason was,
yeah.
Basically, what you do is you start off in the 2-player mode, which most of the time any game you're going to play at the convention is going to be competitive. There are very few
I think it's like
departures
3.
from that, unless you're playing like a bullet hell or a bullet hell or a fighter. You're going to be playing competitive. So we're walking around, we see this game, and basically what it is you get a tiny fraction of a picture. You're given the entire picture.
Up to 10% of it.
Right. And,
typically like 3.
And you're given an itty-bitty chunk, and your goal is to run a line and try and get as much of the picture completed as you can. And
you connect it back to the main picture.
Yeah.
You get some points and percentage.
Right, so on and so forth. Now, we learned that in the competitive mode, if you get 80%, you win. Now, of course, this sounds too easy, so, of course, they throw in, like, upgrades, like dash, and there was stop time, and you could bomb your opponent.
Somehow.
And then also, we still don't really understand the game, to be fair.
Just like, fuck, what the fuck? How the fuck did that happen?
They also...
I think it was just if you just got a lot in one run.
Yeah, that's what
I remember one time I completed it, and I saw like a little thing go from my half to his half of the screen.
Oh, okay.
The other cool thing is they toss in enemies that shoot lasers and bump in. If anything hits your line while you're trying to connect, then you lose a life. You get 3 lives, and if you run out of lives, the opponent wins.
I found a nifty little trick.
Yes. So Jake, about halfway into day No, fuck
No,
that.
this was
I would
on
say
first
about.
day.
Was it the? So it was
Yeah, this
still
was
the
on
first
first
day.
day.
If you can.
Because second day I found Chris.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. So if you could get your line around the biggest enemy, you pretty much just win.
Yeah,
You did.
yeah,
It already
I mean-
completed.
Yeah,
Game
I mean-
over.
So it was anyway.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to describe.
Look it up.
Seeing as how you
Gals
can't
Panic.
see all of the hand motions we're making, and you weren't there. So,
But,
I will
hand
say it was a
motions.
very fun game.
Yeah. Did you mention that the pictures were pretty much just
Right.
Yeah.
So the reason we called it Ecchi Snake is the fact that the pictures you were trying to reveal were usually of anime girls in rather interesting poses with some clothes missing or something like that. Nothing. I'm not saying it's a porn game or anything like that. It was still
Suggestive.
I mean, a kid could play the game and not really get that it was suggestive. I think it was still a pretty safe game to play in the game room.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad they did. It was a lot of fun. And of course, like, yes, we saw, and of course all three of us played it to the point where we saw every picture about 20 or 40 times. It wasn't even about the picture.
It was not. It was just about-
Yeah.
Gotta beat you, gotta beat you, gotta
It was,
beat you.
it was
Fuck, fuck,
about
fuck, fuck.
beating the person next to you, and we had plenty of people who came up, and we kind of felt like we were experts. I even had a bit of an elitist air. At one point, I was standing next to Randall, and we were waiting for our turn at the game, and I was really hoping to mix it up, but I noticed that these guys were actually not using tactics that I would have used, so I assumed that they
My
were
favorite tactic,
normal
by the way.
players. And so I looked at Randall, and
Yeah.
I was just like, fucking amateurs, man.
My favorite tactic, by the way, is of course the very tried and tested straight to the pantsuit.
Straight to the pantsuit. You get right to them panties.
It's all about that technique.
And Randall, for a while, was the Ecchi King, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he held the reign, I think, probably in more games than either.
Probably like
You and I
5,
did,
6 rounds.
Yeah.
hard to hold
Overall,
on
it
to
was
it.
it was very cool. There were a lot of games and cabinets there that you wouldn't see at a normal arcade. That you, as far as I know, you
I know, the cabinets
can't
were
really see
universals.
anywhere else.
They were universal.
They were universal, but the game themselves, and of course, we look at the other cabinets that it was
Yeah, like the drum
Groove,
thing.
Groove Cube or whatever the hell it was called. There was a touch game based on these 12 to 16 panels that you could touch in line with the song. Yet another rhythm game, but
Another
also
Konami game.
Yeah, also
Konami
another
loves
Konami
their-
game.
Yeah, they
And
love the rhythm games.
very, very interesting though. It's a different aspect. There's no different buttons. You're just poking things as it goes along. The touchpads themselves were very sensitive, so you just tap them real quick, in line with the rhythm, in line with.
Dude, there was a guy that was killing it.
Yeah, there
I'm
were.
not sure if you saw. Some people knew the game was there because they brought in headphones and everything else. They were
Right.
Wow.
So the other.
Yeah, they're playing on the
Yeah.
delay.
Wait, you can plug in headphones?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the other cool
Yes.
thing is you can actually rock a headphone jack now and I guess, though, like, god damn it, see, Japan just has it right, man. Arcades are still a thing, like they still pimp out arcades, and so for the joy of the arcade watcher, the speakers still play the song, so
Yeah.
you can watch the guy tap in the rhythm,
But he gets
and
more
you can hear the
immersed.
song, but you can jack a fucking set of headphones in and you can listen to that shit, and he's there to play, man. He's all about
Yeah.
business. And anybody around him hears the same song at the same time, watches the same taps, and it's just like, fuck yeah. Very cool. Overall, the arcade game, definitely a highlight. Not the biggest one of Ichibancon, but
It was cool.
really just,
It was actually pretty fun.
it's a great way to burn through a little time before you're on your way to a panel or
So,
whatever else.
Another cool game that was there was it's a few years old, but it's got some pretty decent graphics. Called Ikaruga.
Yes.
It's a bullet hell, but it's got a.
Was that the one next
spin.
to Ecchi Snake?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was the one
Okay.
right next to Ecchi Snake.
Alright.
And
Yeah, I looked at that.
Randall pulled me to Ikaruga, and he was like, "We gotta play this, man." So we sat around for a few minutes waiting for a guy to leave. Now, it's a typical bullet hell with a very interesting spin. Basically, you're a plane and you're shooting enemies. That
part does not change.
typical bullet hell. However, the enemies are shooting one of two things at you, either like light energy or dark energy.
I know, that was 3 consoles down.
Whatever. Geographic location.
They weren't
not as
there,
important.
Jake.
Yeah, these fuckers don't know.
Well,
So-
they should have been. They should have been there.
So
It's their fault.
the interesting thing
Shame.
is while they're shooting either light or dark energy at you, the plane, your player itself, can actually switch between absorbing light or dark energy. When you absorb enough energy, you get a bomb, and you get an unholy fucking attack on enemies. So basically, what you want to do is switch back and forth between light or dark and absorb as much energy as you can while also killing enemies.
You also have to avoid the opposite energy of your shield.
Correct.
Yes.
If you get hit by, if I'm dark and I get hit by light, I mean it's fucking game over within like 2 hits.
Yeah.
You get. I think honestly, I think it may have been 2 hits. Like you get a shield and then you get hit and it's game over. So Randall and I are playing now. Granted, all these machines, thank you Ichibancon, were set on free mode, so you could just play and play and play. And if you were kind of a dick or whatever, you could sit there and play the entire game through.
Most people
Now-
seem pretty polite.
Yeah, most
which is
people
really
were
nice.
very polite, and if no one's behind you, you just fucking play. But it seemed like the etiquette was line up behind a game you want to play and hope that someone notices you want to play it, and then maybe eventually you'll be able to play it.
Yeah. Typically,
Randall-
no more than like 5-10 minute wait.
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
wasn't that bad.
yeah.
So Randall and I played this for a bit. I died just an ungodly amount of time. If anything, I set a record for dying as many times as I did. Randall held his fucking own. He was very familiar with the game, so...
Oh, you played it before?
I've seen videos of it.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of it years ago.
Yeah,
Right.
Either way, man, like that shit
No,
didn't show.
I
It
actually,
looked
I
like
actually did play it. It was fun.
Yeah, it is not.
It took me forever to realize which shield thing, because I just kept on blowing up.
Yeah, it's and
no prior knowledge.
And the problem is all these levels are built with a certain rhythm where if you're living the entire time, like after a while, you start just kind of swaying through the obstacles and
Yep.
beating the enemies no problem and dodging the bullets no problem. The second you die, though, the rhythm's fucked, and you either find your way or you try and battle the rhythm and just try and fuck shit up, which of course was my mission, as every single boss we fought had a natural rhythm. Randall kind of progressively got into it, maybe lost a life or two, and just found his way back into the sway every single time, whereas the second I died, I was like, I can get right in the face of this bad guy and shoot him until I die again. Then, when that
Free
happens, I'll just do it again. Not the best bullet hell strategy, and I'm not the best bullet hell player, but I will say probably had one of the best graphics in like out of all the games that were
well,
there.
for those machines.
For the cabinets.
Yeah, for the
and
cabinets.
definitely being a cabinet, man. Like
No, for the cabinets, that was probably one.
yeah,
of the
very
best.
very nice graphics and very fun to play. Very responsive. The joysticks, the bombs, the buttons, everything, man, very responsive. So it was a lot of fun to play.
Oh yeah.
So we hung out in the dealer's room, and I told Jake, kind of like, it was a little bad to say, but like one of my biggest, maybe my only purpose of going to the con was I wanted to hit up the dealer room. I wanted to buy me some fucking swag, and
Hey, a lot of people go just for that.
yeah, and
The
my
dealer's room, the craft. Sadly, we missed the Otaku's flea market.
we did, but I'm still very happy.
And
about
turns
what-
out, I did not have to work today.
Oh,
You
wow.
fucking
Well, the thing is, I was supposed to, but my
Uh-huh.
supervisors did not put me in, so I didn't get any jobs on me today.
Okay, but you still would have had to been back here just in case, right?
Yeah, I
Give me
did.
some sauce. or
Yeah,
something.
no, I
'cause
did
we
not
left-
know. I did not know. I woke up this morning. I was awake at 6. I'm checking my handheld. I'm waiting for something because I'm not gonna leave my home until I know where I'm headed. And so I'm waiting. 7 o'clock rolls around. Call up my supervisor. I'm just like, "Am I working today?" No, you're not. Okay.
Yeah, so we left. The only reason that we
Man, I was
actually
pissed.
left the con on the day that we left was because Jake had to go to work. Now, I say that after spending the money that I spent, knowing that we were going to head back when we were heading back. So it's very fair. So I won't crucify you for it.
I've already grilled myself for it. Man,
So-
there were so many things I could have done today.
well, yeah, that's true.
Oh man. What a waste.
So we were basically burning time. We got there around. We actually got into the game room about 11:30 to 12 o'clock. walked around the con for a little bit, went back to the game room. We ended up waiting in line for the dealer's room. And lines themselves, like if anybody's been to a con or not, I mean, it's very similar.
They're not fun.
Yeah, and it's very similar to like Carowinds or anything else. I mean, you just wait in line,
and eventually,
wait for your turn.
If God is gracious enough, you get in before the ride breaks down.
Yeah. So the dealer's room opened up.
I was like 15th
Jake was like 15th in line. Randall was sitting at a good solid maybe like 50 in line, and I was whacking my ass in the back.
Well,
like
there's an upside.
There's an upside. So I was actually waiting. It wasn't that bad, honestly. If you were like 15 and Randall was 50, I was maybe around like 75. Not that bad.
No, you were in within a handful of minutes.
Oh yeah.
It was not bad.
It was fine, and honestly, once the line got moving, it was
buttery smooth.
Like 5 minutes.
This is not the first time we've been through this.
But I was stopped and I was waiting by the fucking Dojin boxes because there was like right near the dealer's room. There's also a line of I don't know, like what the fuck. I guess they were part of Ichibancon selling merchandise for the con.
I'm not sure
because they were open at weird hours that weren't the same as the dealer's room. So whatever the case may be. So I'm standing next to the Dojin, and I was like, well, fucking might as well browse around. So I'm looking through the Dojin, and I see plenty of good stuff, and I was like, well, sticker prices are ridiculous, but hey, what can you do? Next thing I know, we're busting into the dealer's room, and it is a bit of a sensory overload. I mean, there is just... There's just stuff everywhere, man. Like,
the first dealer on the right... On the right, on the left, sold nothing but short skirts, corsets, and brassieres.
Yeah,
which was awesome.
Yeah, I mean it was
not the people that are browsing.
It was really incredible, though. I mean there was plenty of dealers, man, and it was a smaller room than I thought. Like when I was building this whole thing in my head, it was a much smaller room than I thought. But I spent at least 5 hours in there.
Yeah.
Like, over the course of the 2 days, maybe not 5 hours, definitely like a solid 3 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at every goddamn thing I saw, man. It was amazing. There were so many great, like, just figures, wall scrolls, plushies, there were DVDs, there were CDs.
And for something that I don't get, trips.
Yeah, there were trip pants there. I'm not really sure why.
That's one thing of everything else. Throw some blow-up Forever Alone pillows at me, fine. But trip pants, and I wear trip pants. I've worn them for about 6 years now.
Those pillows look like Dakimakuras, by the way.
Dakimakuras? Okay. Good to know. Throw some Dakimakuras at me. I'll get that. Fine, we're at an anime convention. Lonely motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it still makes more sense than trip pants.
I mean,
what the fuck?
Chain pants and all that. As I said, I wear those all the time, every day.
Can you just get those in malls? I mean,
well, it's actually a bit of a specialty item to be able to find, and malls don't sell them. Huh. Originally, you could get them at Hot Topic for a decent price, but they lost their contract with NYC, so they can't sell them in their stores anymore. But that's the one thing in the dealer's room that I was just like, why the hell is that there?
Yeah.
Aside from that, and don't get me wrong, if I had the money, I would jump at the chance to get 3 or 4 pairs.
Yeah, I mean it was very cool. So we walk around, and of course there's a weapons dealer there, and we look at some of the weapons and everything else. It's very interesting.
That custom sword.
There was a cut. Well, okay. I always take these people with a grain of salt. They could be the most genuine, loving people in the entire fucking world, and I'm still not going to completely believe them. What they told us was it was a 400. They were selling it for 400. They originally bought it for $1,000. It was a custom-made sword. It is as unique as a fucking fingerprint. You're never going to find anything this impressive, this well-made, and handmade at that. I will say, it was an absolute fact that this katana was just fucking gorgeous. I mean, it really.
Regardless of what they said, it was beautiful.
Yeah, this could be a fucking like Korean manufactured thing, and I still would say
that's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It really was. And the fucking thing was gorgeous.
Had ray skin on the grip, beautiful cordage going all down it. It was black and red.
Black and red, which for whatever reason she was saying was something that wasn't around a lot. I don't know why, but
It was badass.
I mean, yeah, it was gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
So we walk around some more, and I see.
I immediately hit the wall scrolls.
Yeah, so we end up hitting the wall scrolls. Same guy who's selling wall scrolls is also selling Gundam models and all sorts of just like miscellany fucking swag.
Legend of Zelda Monopoly.
Legend of Zelda Monopoly. They were selling.
I remember that one
Weiss Schwartz cards. It was a lot of fun. So. I mean, I'll spare you the majority of the details of the dealer's room because we ended up buying stuff and it was gorgeous. Like we all left pretty goddamn happy with what we bought.
Oh yeah,
I still miss my Sephiroth and Zelda bag.
You missed the opportunity.
Yeah.
You waited too long and you didn't get the chance to buy either.
Yeah, I was torn and I decided the only way I was going to be able to make the decision was they were saying get out, in which they should be like fuck that one. Here's my money. Out.
But now you
no, I missed it.
And now you have just a little more money.
Damn. Hate money.
So we hit the dealer's room. Honest to God, I don't think we actually did any of us go to a panel on the first day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, besides the last one when I was gone. Did any?
We'll get to that one later.
I went to a panel by a guy named Samurai Dan.
That's right. Okay, so that's right. All right.
He did. It was back to back in the same room, so I attended both of them. There was a ninja sword class and a samurai sword class.
You got to participate in the samurai. How was the ninja?
The ninja was cool.
Bit different.
Bit different. Well, because they're different techniques. Ninjas aren't suited for hour-long battles. They're just there to assassinate somebody.
Kick ass and kill neighbors.
One-on-one combat, and the battle lasts maybe 5 minutes, and they're done. So they're all about fast strikes.
So not like Naruto Shippuden.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You hold the sword with a reverse grip, and you tuck it under your shoulder. And you swing. I can't do the motion on microphone.
Yeah, you can do
it. But
go
you
for it.
swing,
Cut my head off.
You swing, and you bring the sword down diagonally to the left of your body. Then you flip it and bring it down to the right.
Okay, and just so you can sort of imagine this, you're holding the hilt is on the bottom of your hand with the sword going down,
poking
towards the ground.
down. Yes.
It's going down towards your elbow, and you're pretty much doing. Was that a haymaker sort of motion?
It would be like a haymaker holding the sword, and then you flip it back around and do the other way.
Yeah,
it's a reverse blade.
So he just taught us a quick technique where you slice down diagonally, then across the belly, and then stab into. And he said to aim for the sternum because even though it's not likely to penetrate the sternum, it'll slide up and hit the throat, and depending on where their head is oriented, it could go up into their brain or it could go straight to the throat.
Nice.
So,
very cool.
Effective.
Yeah. We end up later actually having a very extensive talk with Samurai Dan. We'll hop into that story real quick because I think it's topical at this point. So we had an experience beforehand which we will not mention on this podcast until it is completely affirmed. But we had an interesting experience, and that led me to wonder if there was a chance we could get a panelist at the convention to maybe grant us an interview or do an intro of some sort. And so we were a little interested to talk to this guy. Now, Samurai Dan, so the first day he was teaching sword techniques, which is very cool. Lots of people at an anime convention are going to want to watch that. The panel that the three of us attended together was Fear the Anime Girl, and it was definitely not what I was expecting because I just saw it and I was like, I guess
Fear the Anime Girl. This is gonna be funny,
right?
It actually did turn out to be funny.
it was very, very funny, but
the whole panel was actually self-defense, and again, we weren't expecting that. The name sort of misled us. Not complaining at
No,
all.
God, no, not at all.
Do not misinterpret. We enjoyed ourselves. I got to tell people to choke me.
Right.
Yeah,
That
so
was awesome.
So basically, what it summed up to be was a self-defense panel for women, and it was women in certain situations where they just need to exploit certain vulnerabilities, and so Samurai Dan kind of taught that. Now, I'm gonna call
Randall got really excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like,
It did.
now, do any of you guys want to get up and have these techniques demonstrated on you? And I fucking jumped from the back of my chair and ran up.
And I'll start off by saying that
Killed about 10 people along the way.
Mr. Dan, Mr. Samurai, absolutely very charismatic guy. He is somewhere around. I think what he was saying is like 6'7", maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
6'7".
And I-
He said 6'7.5".
Okay, and I don't want to get into it because of what we're going to post with this as well. But very tall guy, very nice guy. I don't know how it could be misconstrued that he was intimidating except for his height, but dude knows his shit, and he has a very nice wife who he demonstrates techniques on, vice versa. We had a lot of fun.
Oh, we learned some
And
techniques.
we end up. Jake actually asked him because I was heading out to have a cigarette before we were right about to leave, and so Jake asked him, hey, do you mind talking to us for a few minutes? The guy is nice enough to come outside because we're trying to find somewhere quiet in a convention to just talk to him, and honestly, what I was expecting is he would just introduce the podcast and that would be it. And what we got was actually
it was 21-minute interview. He actually hung out with us
21-minute.
for about 30 minutes outside.
yeah, and just a super nice guy. So we will have that panel up, that interview up shortly after the pod airs.
And we do apologize about the audio quality. Again, we were thinking intro or something, and so I had to do it on my phone. Being at a convention and everything else, it's not that bad.
It was on the fly, so listen to it, don't listen to it, fuck it, it's free, so what the hell are you complaining about? So along
Well,
with...
it's not a very good interview. I can hardly hear what that person in the background was saying.
Along,
Go fuck yourself.
along with the dealer's room, we also went to the craft fair as well.
Yeah.
That's a very cool thing. Very cool. I hope more conventions do it because now we've already slated to go to a couple conventions now.
Oh,
But basically, it's home goods. So like, I mean, if
like wives and children.
if someone's
I made
very,
these.
if someone's very good at drawing, then they can sell their drawings, even if they're licensed characters. Or I saw something very cool. Someone made these green felt pillows and just put the bandana or the mask of each Ninja Turtle on them. There were buttons and keychains, all sorts of stuff. It's a very
Small
cool
clips,
place.
What was it? I cannot remember the original artist, but there's Pisces in Blue Serengeti.
Yes, lots of very original, very, very gorgeous artwork. Pisces and Blue Serengeti were two things that really stuck out to Jake. I also had I ended up buying a couple prints off of a lady who had created her own original character as well. So overall, the craft room was also a very cool addition, and honestly, one of the coolest things about the con. Just the fact that you can showcase, things that you're actually good at in the scheme of this, the anime world. Very, very cool. Now, we cannot talk about a con without talking about
Cosplay.
cosplay.
Things to be proud of.
I knew there were going to be a lot of cosplayers there. Again, this is my first con, and even though I've been an avid video game and comic and anime fan for years and years and years, I really didn't know what to expect. And so we just kind of dove in, and there it is. Lots of cosplay, some good cosplay. And it's actually pretty refreshing to see someone who does a character very well. We actually started the day with seeing the main character from Kill la Kill. I still haven't watched the show. We've mentioned like 7 times.
Okay, remember when I said Brentley wore the second shortest skirt of the con?
Exactly. The first shortest skirt goes to this girl that I hope to God was 18.
She was 18.
Oh, thank God. And she was wearing a Kill la Kill costume. Look up the character. I couldn't tell you who it is, but very sexy very sexy costume. Oh, there you go. Jake's trying to look this shit up
Okay,
right now,
yeah,
so,
tasteful underboob girl.
Yeah,
Yuko.
yeah.
Yes.
Very cool costume. And
I mean, she
again,
pulled it off
taking away the fact that there's a lot of revealed skin, I will say, very well done in terms of accuracy to the character, which I think is what cosplay is really all about.
Yeah, you want whatever it is you want to. Within with some exceptions like body type or just being innovative on your part, or changing it because you want to.
Right.
It's cosplay. Who's going to bitch you out? Well, people would, but fuck them.
Yeah, I mean that's the fun, is you get to create a character the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
And whether you want to stay true to it or not, that's all up to you. We saw Slenderman, we saw Iron Man and Master Chief. I saw people from Gears of War. That was, I mean, swear to God, looked like professionally made cosplay outfit.
I saw. Let's see. Tifa from Final Fantasy Advent Children.
Yeah, I saw her.
The girl with the fire bra from Gurren Lagann, and I hate Gurren Lagann, so I don't care.
Female character from Gurren Lagann.
Okay, cool. She did very well.
She did.
The Ghostbusters Ghostmobile.
So
which was
let's.
And they were there last year and just spot on.
I'll just go ahead and correct you. The
Ghostmobile
Ecto 1
Yep.
pulled up. Randall and I both had a bit of a nerd moment, and we had our heads explode. Everything inside of the car itself also looked like it was right from the movie. So the Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters was there. Very fucking cool to see. I'm trying to think with some of the others. So there were anthropomorphized versions of a couple of Pokemon that were very cute girls. Finnegan and Meryl.
Yeah, saw Meryl.
I don't know if that's a...
Did you guys see the Jirachi?
I didn't. Yes, I saw her walk in. One of the things I didn't even tell you guys about this because it slipped my mind.
Oh, keeping it all to yourself.
No. In the crazy scheme of the con is I actually walked outside to have a cigarette. I don't know what the hell you two were doing.
We were dead.
But I walked outside to have a cigarette and I heard this old Western song, and it's the Ranger with a Big Iron on his hip. And I don't know what the hell the song is actually called, but I know the song, and I knew that I knew the song. And I was like, what the hell is that from? What the hell is that from? What the hell is that from? Fallout New fucking Vegas. And I was like, cool. So I named the song. I light my cigarette, and I'm not really paying attention to where the song's coming from. I thought it was just on the radio or something. I turn around, and I see a guy who is dressed as a character that you can very easily get in Fallout, with a gas mask, and I think it's called the Black Ranger or something like that, but carrying a submachine gun. I mean, just did it so boom. Yes, that guy right there.
Oh damn.
Yes, NCR Ranger. Thank you.
Oh shit.
And
some guy did that. Spot on?
Had, well, not with a Gatling gun.
Well,
yes.
I don't think
and
he can bring a Gatling gun in.
He had a Bluetooth speaker that was only playing, because I followed the guy around. I felt a little creepy, but I followed him around. He was only playing music that was in that Fallout game, Fallout New Vegas, which was a little bit that had to be maddening because there's only 6 songs in the entire fucking game. But I thought that was what a great touch to, first of all, do a cosplay character to the fucking T, and then put in
bring
songs,
the atmosphere as well,
which is almost a meme of the game in and of itself, where there's only so many songs you can listen to before you cut the radio off and hope you never hear it. I mean, just very, very cool. I was excited to see that, and I was like, oh shit, there's that motherfucker right there. Very cool.
Let's see, we saw the guys from, or the family from Skyrim.
So the families from either Skyrim or Morrowind.
It was Skyrim because the Daedric armor was the Skyrim.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
it was husband, wife, and child.
Yeah.
Well, this, yeah.
It was full body armor.
Wearing Daedric armor, which is very cool.
That was badass.
We saw, let's see, we saw the, one of the big mysteries of the con was 3 guys who were dressed in suits but wearing owl masks. And all they would do is they walked by you is they would go, "Whoo!"
No, that
That wasn't them. That was us.
Well,
So
no,
we're
they
playing-
hooted at me.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they would
Okay.
hoot. They
Well,
hooted.
I think when, because they did not do that to us, and so me and Randall and Brentley, we played Cards Against Humanity with like 9 or 10 other people, and whenever these 3 guys would walk by, we'd all start hooting, just hoo, hoo,
Yeah.
hoo. And so we did it loud enough and often enough that whenever they went by, all the other tables down this long corridor started doing it as well. So I think they just had a revolving hooting encore just going all the way around the convention.
It was very cool, and we finally find out as Randall and I are waiting in line for a panel, we find out that they're the owl guys from Adult Swim, and that's, I mean, at an anime convention you see a lot of obscure references. That's got to be the fucking most obscure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. So all around, man, I was very impressed with some of the cosplay costumes and the fact that like. The amount of work that some of these people do just to make a costume and maybe just to sweat for a couple hours.
Yeah.
But
I was happy I got to enjoy a nice Lara Croft.
yeah, so Jake stuck his tongue down Lara Croft for a little while, and that was pretty neat. Yeah, she was very attractive, very nice girl. Chris, I think her name was. Yeah, very nice girl. So
Let's see. I was really sad that Charizard was not there this year. Last year, this woman dressed up just full functional, minus the flamethrower, fully functional Charizard costume, like to the letter, had the wings and everything else. Her head came out right below where his chin is. And so she had a Charizard head on top of her head. And like it was light up and everything else, it articulated. Dude, it was awesome. I'm so sad that I did not see her this time.
yeah, well, I will say, just overall, lots of great costumes, lots of fun, very cool to see.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think. So we saw some cosplay. We fucked around and we did some shit. You actually missed a formal ball because you were playing Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah. Not complaining.
No, it was a lot of fun.
No, inevitably it just turned out to me just dressing up all nice and dapper.
Yeah,
because I could.
One of the things that I noticed, I guess I could say as my first con experience is, you're gonna get separated from like anybody that you went with. You're gonna lose them.
Yeah.
Our mentality was, hey, where's Randall? I don't know. Check the game room. Not in the game room.
Oh, yeah,
he's
he's
dead.
dead.
Then
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead. and God rest his soul. Let's move on. Until we see him again. And then we're
Hey, you're
happy.
revived. How's the afterlife?
And he's fine.
Great. Oh, someone had a Phoenix down. So.
nice.
So yeah, I mean that was one of the big things that kind of that I took away from that is the fact if you don't have numbers, like you need to establish something. So you tell people like the next 5 moves that you're gonna make. Well, it's like fucking reverse chess. You're gonna tell them exactly what you're gonna do, so they can anticipate it.
And then you test whether or not they actually execute what they're going to say.
So when I tell Randall, like, all right, I'm gonna go to the dealer's room. I'm gonna have a piss, probably have a smoke. Go check on the score of the Panthers game, and then I'm gonna head to the craft room. So I'll meet you there in say like 45 minutes. He goes, okay, cool. And if I'm sitting in that craft room 45 minutes later, Randall's not there. I'm like, oh my god, he got killed. Oh, the poor bastard. And then he shows up and I'm happy. I'm like, oh, Randall, you got revived.
Big thanks to Creepy Jesus.
Thanks to Creepy Jesus.
Oh, yes.
So I will just say, I mean, so many different characters. There's a guy who dressed up as Jesus Christ and said, we'll exclude the majority of it, but it involves sodomy and clearly just a lot of other weird shit. And he invited Jake to join along.
So at first it was just like, Truth or Dare Vampire. So it's like, okay, sounds cool. And then he starts going into detail and just like,
So
creepy Jesus.
So after that, I started calling him Creepy Christ. Very weird guy. Also, anyway, I'll fucking
just glaze on.
I'll fucking go past the part that I mean, if he has a woman that's in his room that is under 350 pounds, then he must be God. Not a good-looking guy.
And creepy.
We also saw. I mean, it's so much cosplay, man. Like that was honestly kind of the show in and of itself. And
Yeah.
for the
yeah,
ticket
I mean,
price, that was pretty much worth it.
This one woman, she came up to me and she was kind of
yes.
she was kind of old for an anime fan. I'd say maybe in her 30s. And
Something like that.
She was in like a white like morph suit kind of.
A wife's morph suit.
A white morph suit, and she had grayed out contacts, and she comes up to me and she's staring at me, and I'm like, all right, what is this woman want? And she just goes, Edward. Edward. And I was like, oh no, oh my God.
Now, they had to explain it to me before I felt the feels, but she was dressed up as the Chimera from the very first the episode of the very first season of Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
The failed experiment Chimera that Edward has to just kind of put down.
No, he didn't. Scar did.
Scar did, thank you.
Which made it so much worse.
That's right.
Because it was just torn apart.
That's right,
Yeah.
yes. And absolutely just
Gruesome.
fucking heart-wrenching. That was also the story arc they used for the PlayStation 2 game that they made was the Chimera story arc. So that was very cool. Scar was the bad guy.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, all around cosplay was kind of an event in and of itself. There was a cosplay contest, which I of course did not go to.
The line for that thing.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
It was a little fucking
I
incredible.
think it was worse than the dealer's room.
Oh no, by a magnitude of at least 5.
What you looking for?
Right up on this fucking shit right here.
Ah.
There we go. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh
Yeah.
fuck. Okay. Sorry, I was just trying to look for the talking points, and I realized that we're almost done.
Much more transpired than what we've said.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot happen, and we really, really hope that the next thing we're gonna do is going to end up being a little bit of a tidbit of something that happened. I really want to fucking talk about it, but I don't want it to be like, this fucking awesome thing fucking happened, you guys aren't gonna believe, and then it doesn't happen.
Well, you'll by the time that we release this, you'll already know what we're hinting towards because
It'll be
if the beginning, if the beginning of this podcast was awesome, then you'll know. Otherwise, if it's just us talking, then I'm so sorry.
You're just in for another disappointment.
I'm so sorry. there was something. The panel you missed.
Oh,
I want to talk about.
Okay,
that
yes. So
so 18 plus by this point on.
well, I mean, if
Or if you want to just hit, are you 18? Yes, then you're good.
Wait, I'm pretty sure my language throughout every single pod
Yeah,
is 18
yeah.
plus already. Yeah. So all right. So tell us just.
So Brentley,
just a little bit.
I'm going into detail
About.
So.
oh boy, okay.
All right, so me and Brentley were going to go to this as a pair, hand in hand. But he was hungover from drinking at the bar too much.
I was not hungover. It had been a long day. I wanted to head back to the hotel. I'm still pissed I missed the panel.
Yeah. So the panel was Triple H, hilarious, horrible hentai.
Yes. Now, kids, for those of you who
somehow do not already know,
or have morals or whatever else, hentai is Japanese animated pornography, and it can get weird. So that was kind of the subject of the panel, was the most ridiculous shit that has been produced. People have been paid to make it. This is
and draw it, to voice act
This
for
is
it.
a real fucking thing. So what Jake's going to describe to you, you can actually buy.
Yeah.
You can find it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Just ridiculously ridiculous shit. I mean, I
Yeah.
really don't know how else to say it. So, all right, so explain a
Ridiculous
little
shit.
about, like, maybe give me, like, the top 2 things that you saw.
I have to do top 3.
All right, so
Top 3. So, just before I get to that, the 3 people that were running it was 2 guys, 1 girl. The guy and the girl on the outside were dressed in normal clothing. The guy in the center was dressed up as a Lolita girl, which was just fucking amazing. Fantastic person to be running a panel like that, I have to say. So, anywho, the very beginning was a 1960s public service announcement about how pedophiles are essentially homosexuals. Or, sorry, how homosexuals are pretty much pedophiles.
And I've seen that video before.
Yeah, Randall's actually seen this before I had. It shows wherever there's a human face, at least for the primary people in it, it was anime guys' heads just pasted very sloppily over the humans' faces. And so, depending on sort of the perspective, it'd be a different expression. And it was just hilarious. Just the faces they used. And just the fact that they kept the heads just kept on sort of drifting around. It's not like it was in one place and it held onto that person's face at that one spot perfectly. No, it floated around.
If you've seen any YouTube poop or just like shitty YouTube meme humor, you know how the face is like shittily pasted on.
In the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost artistically done horribly. Yeah. So that was a nice fun start. And so and this is actually the panel where I met Lara Croft.
Yes. So well done.
In a hentai panel, which was awesome. So anywho, so that was just to kickstart it. And to preface one other thing, whenever someone would walk in, apparently next door, Randall was doing Cards Against Humanity. And they're just like, yeah, if the door comes open, whatever, fuck it all. For us, we were yelling at people, shut the goddamn door! And so, it slammed closed every now and again.
To their credit, although Cards Against Humanity is fairly offensive, what was going on in the panel Jake attended was much worse.
Oh yeah, so the first one was, well, first off, it was a horrible English dub. And if you've ever watched anime, you know how bad an English dub can be. On top of just bad voice acting, one of my favorite lines, or the hentai storyline, was this male teacher got hired and essentially the students walked over him, and because of that, somehow all female staff just gave him hell, like, don't you have any fucking balls? It's just like, come on, man up, get your dick out there. So eventually, apparently, he has enough, and it's just like he goes on a raping spree.
Yep.
One of my favorite lines was, you're a really nice guy. Even though you pushed me into the dirt and raped me, I don't see why girls don't like you.
I wonder why.
Yeah, and all the while the female staff is just like, now who the hell is doing this?
Quick 248 disclaimer, kids. We here at 248 do not condone or indulge in rape. However,
bad voiceover and hentai rape.
The point
was fucking hilarious. It was terrible.
It was terrible
on all accounts. Even the video quality, like the art itself, was shit.
All right, so besides that,
okay,
so you have the school teacher who was abused and then started raping. What else you got?
Okay, well, in the next one, this one had really, it was good, a solid art style, but it was a really weird one, sort of like Serial Experiment Lane.
Really?
Well, as far as like how the females were drawn.
Okay.
Just that sort of build. It was weird.
Alright.
So, anywho, if you've not watched Serial Experiment Lane, watch it. It's a trip.
It's fucking fantastic.
Absolutely. So, anywho, it's got that art style, and the guys look like Neanderthals. They've got just that stance, sort of leaning forward, arms to the side, sort of not comprehending anything.
Women fuck.
No, seriously, that was the premise.
Yeah.
That was the premise of the entire hentai travesty. And so these guys, they've got like the giant curled out lip, the really hard jawline. They didn't have eyes. It was just sort of black voids with like the sleep deprived graying underneath. And they also had a strange blocky body type. It was weird. And so, anywho, a lot of shit goes down, and it's just fucking weird. Awkward boners were popped during that one, I'm sure. And at the end, there's a sort of like a teasy, bloopery spoiler thing. So, the girl is being held up by the guy. She's got her arms around his Neanderthal-like neck. And right when he comes, she rockets up into the ceiling.
Oh, man.
And
only in Japan.
Only in Japan. And so, that was one of my favorites. Just... oh my god.
What can you say?
Yeah, one of the others was a sensory thing, where you close your eyes and you've just got a voice. And so, the voice is trying to be all sexy and whatnot, and it's just like, alright. And so, and it's got this really calming melodic sound in the background. You listen to it just like, I have no idea where this is going, but so far so good, I'm soothed. And it's just like, alright, well, to start this off, I'm going to do something really sexy. I'm going to rub some paper on the microphone. And then, 2 seconds later, on the microphone the woman was speaking into, she's literally rubbing paper across it. And it's just going... for like a minute. And so we're all in there looking like fucking retarded fuckers with our eyes closed, just like, huh? It's just like, oh, so you like that, did you? Well, I'm going to eat one of the sexiest foods in the world. A saltine. And so, yeah, really crunchy and dry sounding noises start to exude from the speakers in that room. Something else I don't even remember. By this point I was just sort of baffled. Eventually it just breaks into demonic voices. And we're all just sort of, what? Well, that escalated quickly. It's like, and so the message throughout was pretty much, are you still turned on? How are you sexually attracted to this? And it's just like, well then.
So, overall, I would say, honestly, we could talk about the events and everything that we saw at Ichibancon for almost as long as we were there.
Probably.
But I will say, the only way that you can really, that we can really give credit is just to go. Just go to a convention.
And if you're 18 or older, go to the 18 pluses.
Yeah, so
like, we could tell you that we saw Phil Lamar and we heard him do the Green Lantern oath in Hermes' voice.
Yes.
But you guys weren't there and you didn't hear it firsthand.
And we're totally not.
I can describe hentai for you, but inevitably I'm just going to sound like that girl eating a saltine.
So, I will say...
with equal amounts of arousal.
I will say, it was, as far as the first con goes, it was a total blast.
Honestly,
we plan on going to TriadCon sometime around in March, which is down in Winston-Salem, and one of the biggest, actually, we were completely confused when we saw it, but Asheville is getting their own anime convention as well.
Oh, this is their second.
And yeah, apparently it's their second.
Which,
I never heard of it.
We live 20 minutes, 30 minutes at most away from Asheville. And
I had no fucking clue.
This is not my first con. I've gone to a couple others before this one. I've looked for some others in the area, and I'd never even heard of AARC.
Yeah, so AARC,
Asheville Anime Regional Convention.
Oh wow, good for you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say don't try the acronym, but you got it. So
Nailed
look that shit up. We're gonna at the end of this pod when we actually post it, we'll post some links as well to some of the things that we're gonna kind of start trying to support a little bit. Give Samurai Dan some credit. We're also gonna post the interview that he did with us as well. Yeah, overall, just a great experience, and we are going to be doing our best to start hitting a couple more. So, I mean, if you're in the area of Asheville, or if you're in the area of Winston-Salem, you guys don't actually know what we look like, but I'm pretty sure by the next time we're going to be wearing some shirts or something to indicate 248 podcast. So,
in the next 2 weeks to a month.
That's right. Yes, we'll have our own website.
I used to do web development, and I hate WordPress. So I broke down, and obviously this is going to be WordPress because I don't have the time for it anymore.
Yeah, but it looks. I mean, what we've got right now looks pretty decent. So.
You can. We upload our videos onto the website. There's also a YouTube player that you can choose instead. I think we may offer downloads. You can just download the
absolutely,
podcast
yes.
itself.
So we're going to offer downloads. We've got Ryan working on some graphics.
Yep.
Guy I know from work, Ryan's working on some graphics for us. So we're kind of putting it together, kids.
Yeah,
we're getting pretty damn excited about it.
Yeah, you can subscribe. There's links out to take you directly to YouTube as well as Twitter. And you can leave comments. If you do anything like that, once we've got the website up, if you want to ask us to talk about anything, or if you want me to have Brentley punch me in the face, then just put that in the comments. Put something like AVS, awesome video suggestions.
Yeah.
As the tagline, preface it, AVS, whatever the fuck you want to put in there.
There you go.
And we'll try, if it's not too deathly, I think we'll probably put it in there.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
Or we may do it anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck living.
Yeah. And fuck you guys. We'll do whatever the hell we want. No.
Apparently, it's really easy to get revived. So
Yeah, we learned that at the convention.
So I guess this is kind of it is a con wrap up, and we have been a little hastily through it all. We'll do our best to kind of pull some more information time and time again. So I will say overall, thank you very much to the staff at Ichibancon who made everything run just fucking well. That
was. Even though it's just one con difference, 2015 to 2014, I feel like this one went a lot smoother.
Yeah, it just every damn thing just seemed great about it. So,
and with the exception of the massive photo shoot, very little homestuck.
Oh yeah.
I was very happy about that.
Although when the homestuck took place, there were at least
70
at
least, and they were learning how to count. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a little rough to deal with. But more on that to come, kids. We've reached the end, damn it.
Bye.
So, like we said, we're working on shit, so just stick with us. This has been 248 plus one. It's a little back. Yep, there you go.
We've got
ahead. Yeah.
Plus one as our reoccurring guest is Randall Harrington.
That's me.
Well done, sir.
As always, you can follow us on Twitter at 248_podcast and find us on Facebook at facebook.com/248podcast. We fail at this, but we keep on saying it every time. We try and release a new cast every week, so don't believe us.
Yeah.
My name is Jake Jackson.
I'm Brilliant Sproles.
And I'm I'm Randall Harrington.
Y'all have a good one, you hear?
Hey.